The door that only opens in rain in the town of Hollow Creek. It rained more often than anywhere else. Some said it was cursed. Others whispered that the clouds hung heavier here, as if the sky itself mourned something lost. Locals knew better than to wander the old part of town during a storm, but curiosity has a way of bending caution. Eleanor Marlow had just moved to Hollow Creek, seeking solace from the noise of the city. She was drawn to quiet streets and forgotten buildings, places where time seemed to linger. The house she rented was old but charming, with ivy crawling up its walls and a small garden that smelled of damp earth. But what truly fascinated her was the lane behind the house. Narrow and winding, it led to nowhere, or so it seemed. The first time Eleanor noticed the door, it was the middle of April. A spring storm had rolled in, fat drops splattering the cobblestones. She had taken her umbrella out for a walk, and at the end of the lane, she saw it, a door, dark and wooden, set into a brick wall that otherwise looked ordinary. What caught her attention wasn't its age or its design, but that it was slightly ajar, and a faint golden light spilled through the gap. Curious, Eleanor approached. As she neared, the wind seemed to whisper around her, and the rain fell harder, soaking her coat. She reached out, but the door creaked shut before she could touch it. She tried again, pushing and pulling, it wouldn't budge. The golden light faded, and when she looked around, the door looked completely ordinary again, as if it had never moved at all. Shaken, Eleanor went home, dismissing it as a trick of her imagination. But the storm had planted a seed in her mind, a seed that grew restless over the next few days. She asked her neighbors about the door. Door? Asked Mrs. Whitaker, a spry old woman who lived 2 doors down. Oh, you mean the rain door? Nobody goes there. The rain door? Eleanor repeated, intrigued. Yes, Mrs. Whitaker said, leaning on her cane. It only opens when it rains. Some say it's a doorway to another place. Others say it's a test, or a trap. No one knows for sure because, well, no one has ever come back the same. Eleanor felt a thrill of fear and excitement. That night, she couldn't sleep. The wind howled, the trees lashed against the windows, and she imagined that door waiting, patient, somewhere in the wet darkness. The next week, a storm arrived, fierce and sudden. Rain pelted the windows, thunder shook the shutters, and lightning traced jagged veins across the sky. Eleanor grabbed her coat and umbrella, heart pounding, and ran toward the lane. The door was there, exactly where she had seen it, and this time it was slightly open. Golden light flickered inside. She hesitated only for a moment. Something about it felt alive. Then she stepped through. The world beyond the door was not Hollow Creek. The rain was still falling, but it shimmered in colors she had never seen, violet, silver, and green. The street ahead was cobblestoned like hers, but the buildings leaned impossibly, towers twisting like smoke. Shadows moved, but none were people. Eleanor could hear whispers in the wind, faint laughter that wasn't quite human. She walked, drawn forward. The air smelled of wet stone and lilac. And then she saw them. Doors, hundreds of them, lining the crooked street. Each door was unique, some ornate, some simple, some carved with symbols that seemed to pulse. She realized with a shiver that this place was made entirely of doors. One in particular caught her eye. It was small, dark, and unassuming, yet the golden light spilled from it, just as before. Compelled, she reached out. A warmth spread through her fingers as the door swung open. Inside, she saw a room, familiar, cozy. It looked like her childhood bedroom. Her old bed, her books, her small wooden desk, everything was exactly as she remembered it. A voice spoke behind her. "You've come." She spun around, but no one was there. "Who's there?" she whispered. The voice was soft, almost like the rain itself. "I am the keeper of doors. And this is the place where choices wait." Eleanor felt a shiver run down her spine. "Choices? What do you mean?" The voice continued. "Every door you see here leads to a path you might have taken, a life you might have lived, a memory you have forgotten. Some are gifts. Some are warnings. The rain door opens for those who are ready to see what might have been." Fear and wonder battled within her. She turned back to the door she had entered through, the only one that had brought her here. Behind it, rain fell in the world she had left. She could go back, or she could explore these doors, these lives, these possibilities. She hesitated. Then, curiosity won. She opened another door. This one led to a forest, mist curling around ancient trees. She could hear footsteps, hers, or someone else's, moving in rhythm with her own heartbeat. Each door she opened revealed more. A bustling city she never visited, a family she never had, a career she never pursued, friends she never met. Some made her smile, some made her ache. Hours, or was it days, passed. Eleanor began to lose track of time. Yet always, the rain continued, gentle or fierce, guiding her, urging her onward. And always, the keeper's voice whispered reminders, choose wisely. Not every path is meant to be taken. Some doors, close forever once you pass. Finally, she came to a door unlike any other. It was simple, carved with a single word, return. Her heart raced. She knew she could go back to her life in Hollow Creek, leave the rain-strewn streets and impossible doors behind. Or she could stay here, wandering possibilities forever. Tears mingled with the rain on her cheeks. She reached for the door. A warmth spread through her hand. The keeper's voice said one last thing, all doors led somewhere. Some to beginnings, some to endings. Remember, the world you return to will not be exactly as you left it. Choose. Eleanor stepped through. The lane in Hollow Creek was silent. The storm had passed. The door was gone, replaced by solid brick. For a moment, she wondered if it had been a dream. But in her pocket, she felt something, a small, golden key, warm to the touch. And she knew, somehow, that the rain door would return when the next storm came. From that day on, Eleanor always watched the skies, listening for the first drops of rain. Because she had learned a secret that the townsfolk whispered but never proved. Some doors only open when the world is wet and waiting, and those who step through can never see the world in quite the same way again.